This is the Joy of Giving Week, or Dan Utsav. It was launched in 2009 to bring about a giving revolution in India, a public festival of giving. It is held from October 2nd every year to October 8th. All over India, over 1,000 corporates, several thousand schools and colleges, hundreds of NGOs like Goonj, Give India, United Way and others are participating in this festival in support of the joy of giving. CNBC TV 18 will walk through the day, talk to NGOs and corporate donors who are bring to you stories of great causes and collaborative efforts and philanthropy. Joining us to actually ring in this Joy of Giving celebration is Mr. S. Ramadorai, President of SRCC, which is building the largest children's hospital in the country through collective philanthropy. Mr. Ramadorai, thank you very much indeed for joining us. I can't tell you what pleasure it gives us to host you and for the cause for which we are hosting you. First, a word from you on corporate philanthropy itself. What would you have to say? Is it come of age, or do you think corporates have to be sensitized further on the concept of joy of giving?
I think the idea of giving has definitely taken root, and a number of enablers have been put in place. Organizations like Give India have taken the lead in terms of sensitizing the corporate sector itself, including the high net worth individuals. To me, it's a continuous process. It's beyond advocacy now, where action is happening on the ground as we speak.
Okay. Certainly you exemplify the fact that action is happening on the week, and your project SRCC. Tell us a little more about it, not just the corporate donors, but the good work it is doing in the space of children's health.
Yeah. The Society for the Rehabilitation of Crippled Children, which is now renamed as SRCC, was essentially a plot of land given at Haji Ali during the time of independence by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. It was to treat the polio-affected children, and that's how the whole society started. A lot of good work has been done with regard to addressing that, and an enormous amount of data is available with regard to how they did. Progressively over the years, I think the objective of the society was redone to make sure that you go beyond polio, as polio was eradicated in the country. I think they do quite a bit of counseling, quite a bit of action on the ground to physically challenged children of multiple forms. Having said that, we decided that we should build a hospital, as no exclusive children's hospital exists in the city of Mumbai or in any part of the country for that matter. A few of them might have come up in the last couple of years, but an exclusive children's hospital for pediatric cardiac care was the vision which we put together, and that's what is taking shape.
Okay. So, you know, always in cases like this, help goes to those who can afford it. Is there any way the Society for Rehabilitation of Crippled Children is looking at getting those who cannot afford into the picture?
I think the biggest contribution this hospital will provide is no child should be denied treatment because of affordability. 30% of the patients would be given free, 30% would be at a subsidized rate, and the rest would be at a normal rate, which will subsidize some of these things, including from the donors, not only for building up the hospital, but also funding the treatment of children. We are encouraging all of this.
But how do you administer this eligibility test?
I think the administration is through a professional organization like Narayana Hridayalaya, who are going to be helping us manage this hospital. They know exactly when a child needs this help. That's why we said we may be professionals, but the best professionals are those who are the practicing surgeons and physicians, and an institution like Narayana Hridayalaya would bring that capability to this.
No, what I meant was this 30% breakup that you spoke about.
Yes.
Are you able to administer the eligibility? How would you identify those who need subsidized help?
I think that is a process which we have put in place. I think if some patient comes, let us say, one is every single outpatient one is free totally, irrespective of the society they come from or the hierarchy. Having said that, the moment a diagnosis is done, a treatment is needed, then the affordability issue will be taken in, and then automatically it will be put into place.
All right. Well, are there any future plans for SRCC to expand beyond the one center?
I think the first hospital is, the phase 1 is 197 beds, a total square feet of about 170,000 plus an existing facility of about 37,000. The next phase would be an additional 200 beds, so that we want to make sure that phase 1 and phase 2 are completed. That itself will give us about 400 beds, and we can treat a number of children for that. I think the model, if it is very successful both in terms of affordability, access, and no denial of any child, I think we can replicate it for sure, and I'm sure we would want to see that. More importantly, the donors who have come in, whether it's the corporate sector, whether it's the high net worth individuals, or even individual donations, it's an amazing one. And I think I must compliment Give India and all others who have been behind this, every single corporate donor or every single foundation. It's an enormous effort. It took us some time, but we have got it together.
So funds are not a constraint now?
Today for the phase 1, funds are not a constraint. I'm sure once we show action on the ground, automatically more funds will come.
All right. So then let me, digress to other areas of the joy of giving. Shramdan or Vidyadan is the other side, and perhaps the more long-standing side of the joy of giving. You are associated with skill development in the country as well, in the national body for skill development. Any thoughts on that in terms of the work done and where you would like it? The forum is open to you. There is a large number of viewers. We just announced that over the last quarter, every week we maintained a 61% viewership. So you have the best and the brightest of India watching you. What kind of skill development contributions can you want from India?
I think I'm happy that 61% of the people are watching this, which is very, very important. Thank you so much for making it possible, CNBC TV 18. The most important thing is corporates have a very critical role to play in terms of a public-private partnership. The role they can play is in terms of apprentices, the role they can play in terms of curriculum and content definition, role they can play is in terms of training the trainers, and finally providing the necessary jobs. I think through the sector skill councils, corporates are participating in a big way. We already have defined 30 sector skill councils through the National Skill Development Corporation, and corporates have to pitch in a big way. Some of the concerns the corporates have raised with regard to the Apprenticeship Act, the Labour Act are all going through reforms as articulated by the Prime Minister himself. And we are going to be seeing a lot more of easing of some of these constraints which are there today.
Okay. So, final word from you for those who want to do philanthropy, those who want to get into this national development in a mission mode. What is your advice? What is the constraint? Is it awareness?
I think one is awareness, but money is not the only way to contribute. Volunteering for a cause by taking your knowledge and sharing it and then making sure others are helped is the best way we can all contribute to it. Teaming together, collaborating together, and understanding the scale and magnitude of the problem is what is most important. Most importantly, outcomes which have an impact on every single child in this country is the best way.
All right. After the show, sir, we will certainly take an email address from you into which our viewers can write in to seek advice on how they can contribute monetarily or through their own effort.
Thank you so much.
Well, in fact, I think the website name is already there. Okay. It is running for you.
So,
log in and you can get more details. You can ask how you can contribute either through monetary or through Shramdan, which, as Mr. Ramadorai was pointing out, is a better way in which India can contribute to bettering the larger public good. Okay, this is as part of our series, Joy of Giving, that we have Mr. Ramadorai kicking off this series for us, and this will run through the day. Thank you very much, Mr. Ramadorai, for coming over and kicking off this, I think, the most relevant series that we are doing, the Joy of Giving Week.